Hi, welcomes everyone for the lecture 15 of module earthquake resistance construction of a subject main and seismic analysis, in which the outline of the module is how to improve the earthquake resistance of earthen building as per the guidelines given by IS 13827 1993. So here is the code which is having the guidelines of improving the earthquake resistance of earthen building. So there are some of the terminologies. One is the adobe. So the earthen buildings are constructed using the adobe. And what is the adobe? Adobe is nothing but it's a sun-dried clay blocks or a mud blocks. So sun-dried bricks, it's called adobe. Then the box system is to be provided. It means all the walls are having a load bearing walls in a horizontal directions, and these are acting as a shear walls. Then bands are provided at a different level to impart horizontal bending strength in them. Then the seismic zone and seismic coefficients. So the seismic zone is divided into four zones: zone 2 to zone 5, and also the seismic coefficient based on the seismic zone. Then the design seismic coefficient alpha h, which is also given as per the IS 1893 1984. There are some of the general considerations. So as the buildings are earthen building and which are constructed using the earthen materials, so the building safety uh, and precaution should be taken against the water penetration and flooded water penetration. So and also in the point of view earthquake, so minimum precautions to be uh, recommended in these standards. So these clay blocks is hard and strong enough in a vertical shear or a compression and strength, but as the water is penetrate into them, then this water will make them soft and weak, and their strength is to be reduced by 80 to 90%. So these uh, earthen material or these earthen building should be prevent against the ingress of moisture in the walls. And another one is the lightness of the houses. So as the earthquake is a function of inertia force or a mass, so if the houses are constructed using the light material, and that should be light enough so that the it so that the houses to be prevent during the earthquake. Height, obviously the height. So single story building to be adopted while considering in a zone number 4 and in a zone number 5. Shape of the building, for better earthquake resistance, the building should have a rectangular plan and symmetrical about both the axes, and L type and T type of junction to be avoided. Construction of earthen wall. So the construction of earthen wall to be done in a 4 ways. One is the hand formed in layer using mud lumps. Second one is the built by using sun dried blocks, which are called adobe. Third one is the built by rammed earth, and fourth one is the constructed using the wooden blocks, wood, bamboo or cane structures. So these 4 techniques to be adopted while constructing the earthen wall. How to choose the suitability of soil? What type of soil is suitable for the construction of such type of building? So 2 tests has to be performed to check the suitability of soil. One is the dry strength test, and another one is a feature control test. In a dry strength test, 5 or 6 wall has to be made of 2 centimeter diameter, and then they will dry up to a 48 hours. After drying these balls, that has to be crushed by finger or using thumbs. If they are strong enough, then none of them are bricks. So the clay or the soil which is to be used in adobe constructions, and provided that are some control over the mortar, then the micro feature caused by drying process is exercised. So if that balls will not break, then the soil or a clay is having a good soil and that are suitable for adobe constructions. Second one is the feature control test, in which the at least 8 folded units are made up with mortar and mixture in a different proportion of soil and coarse grained sand. So different proportion are to be adopted, such as 1:1, 1:2, 1:2, 2.5, 1:3. Like different proportions are used, soil and coarse sand, then it dried up and compacting in a block, and that block is opened up after 48 hours. After 48 hours, if the blocks with a minimum proportion of soil and sand does not show any features or cracks in the mortar, then that will indicate the good type of soil or sand mixtures for the adobe constructions and having the highest strength. Third one is the strength test of adobe. If we are using the masonry constructions using the adobe, so how the strength test is to be done on adobe. So to check the strength of adobe, a 4-week sun-dried adobe, it should be strong enough to support a bending of a person having a weight of 60 to 70 kg, and that can be seen in this pictorial view. So after 4 week 4 week of sun-dried, that adobe is placed in such a way that if a person is standing over here having a weight of 60 to 70 kg, if that adobe is break in a way, then it is having a poor strength, and if it carry the weight of 60 to 70 kg of a person, then it's having good strength. Second one is the hand formed layer constructions. So the walls which are built by hand forming are the most primitive and weakest of earthen wall. Since enough moisture of full dispersion of clay is not usually adopted because of stealing off that moisture into the hands. So to prevent that moisture, what we have to do, we have to mix the straw in the clay, so the strength and reduction of features to be imparted in the soil. Blocks or adobe constructions. So what type of adobes are to be constructed? So there are two patterns, one is the rectangular, one is the square. Square type of pattern to be adopted because it's having a better for strong construction in view of it's having a less vertical joints between the better cracking of vertical joints. And mud mortar to be used to join the blocks together should be the same soil as used in making the blocks. And to make it non-shrinking, straw, which is bhusa, in the ratio of 1:1 by volume should be mixed so that that will not shrink. Another type of construction which is of rammed earth construction. To construct the walls in this method, most soil is poured in long wooden form of walls and compacted to achieve the desired density. The soil suitable for rammed earth construction will generally have less clay than that used for making adobe, and the moisture content should be kept less but close to the optimum moisture content. To control shrinkage features on drying, trial testing may be required for determining the quantity of sand to be added to clay based on the moisture. So in rammed earth construction, as we have provided the shuttering for RCC construction, like that the wooden blocks are provided or wooden planks are provided, and in which the soil is to be rimmed and compacting with a desired moisture content. So in such type of wall construction, the amount of clay is less in compared to adobe constructions, and the moisture content to be kept near about of optimum moisture content determining by the Proctor compaction test. This is how the bond details are provided in adobe wall construction. So in a first layer, this is the pattern of a bond is provided, in a first layer. First and second, the two type of bonds we can provide in a first layer constructions. In a second layer construction, such type of bonds has to be provided in a second layer type of constructions. And the recommendations of seismic areas. So what are the recommendations for seismic area? That walls, the height of building should be restricted to 1 story in a seismic zone number 5 and 4, and we can construct 2-story building in a seismic zone number 3. Important buildings such as having an importance factor greater than 1.5 should not be constructed with earthen wall in seismic number zone and seismic number 5, zone number 5, and only 1 story is to be constructed in a seismic zone number 3. So important buildings such as hospitals, monuments to be avoided in a zone number 4 and 5, and only seismic and only single story important building can be constructed in a zone number 3. The length of wall should be restricted to 10 times of wall thickness, or not be greater than, it should not be greater than 64 t square by h, where t is the thickness of wall and h is the height of walls. This is the recommendation. If a longer wall is required, then wall should be strengthened by intermediate vertical buttress are to be provided. The height of wall should be restricted to 8 times the thickness of wall, and the width of opening, it should not be greater than 1.2 meter. The distance of opening from the corner of wall should be kept within the limit of 1.2 meter, and the sum of the width of opening in a wall also should not exceed 33% in a zone number 5 and 40% in a zone number 4 and 3. The bearing length of a lintel on each side of opening should not be less than 300 mm. So it can be seen in this picture. If these are the 2 earthen walls are provided, and one more thing, half formed walls could be preferably made tapering towards keeping the minimum thickness 300 mm at the top and better for, and increasing it with a better of 1:12 at the bottom. So these are the buttresses are provided. If 2 walls, masonry walls are provided, these are called pilasters, which is of outside projection of the walls are called pilasters. So number 2 is pilasters, number 3 is the buttress. So this should be provided with a minimum thickness at the top is 300 mm and having a slope of 1:12 and increasing the width at the bottom. So this is the way of constructing the buttress, and these buttresses are provided to support the masonry walls during the earthquake, and these are the projection of pilasters. So how the construction of masonry wall is to be done. Then the doors and windows. So the maximum width of doors and windows should be kept 1.2 meter, and the corner distance and the distance of openings from the wall corners to be kept 1.2 meter, maximum 1.2 meter. Then the length of pilaster should be kept equal to the thickness of wall. So these are the wall dimension and plaster at the corners. House site, how the house site is to be chosen, where the earthquake resistance construction is to be done. So the site is to be chosen should be free from loose soil, poorly compacted soil or a failing material, and also should not have a very high water table. These recommendations are particularly important for a seismic zone number 4 and seismic zone number 5. So when we are going to construct a building in a seismic number zone and seismic number zone 5, so before construction we have to visit the site, and that should be free from loose sandy soil, poorly compacted clay, filling material and high water table. Now site should also site shall be above high flood level or ground shall be raised to this effect. What type of foundations are to be provided? And what are the recommendations? So width of the strip footing of the wall may be kept as follow, like if one story building is constructed, then the width of strip it should be kept equal to the thickness of wall. If two-story building is to be constructed, then 1.5 times the wall thickness of width strip is to be chosen. If the single story building is constructed but it should rest on a soft soil, then the width of strip should be taken as 1.5 times the wall thickness. And if the two-story buildings is to be constructed on a soft soil, then 2 times the wall thickness is to be taken as a width of strip footing. The footing should be preferably be built by using a stone masonry work or fired brick, or using the cement or lime mortar, and that should be used in a proportion of 1:4:6:10 in a lean concrete with a plums, which is a summation of cement, sand, gravel and stone, or without plums 1:5:10, in which lime can be used in place of cement. So lime, sand and gravel with a ratio of 1:4:8. Plinth masonry, the wall above the foundation up to plinth level should preferably construct using a stone or burnt bricks laid in a cement or lime mortar. The height of plinth should be above the flood water line or a minimum 300 mm above from the ground level to be adopted. So the plinth level should be 300 mm above the ground level or from the highest flood water line. Roof should have the lightest material, and it should not have the tiled or slate roof because they are heavier, and that should be avoided in a zone number 4 and zone number 5. It should have better made for a waterproofing or a fire resistance. For applying a waterproof, mud plaster should be applied, and the roof beam and rafter or truss would be rested on a longitudinal wooden element for distributing the load on walls. The slopes and overhangs are provided based on the local climatic conditions, and the projections are provided 500 mm beyond the walls to prevent it from the rain. So this is the way of roofs are provided. So fixing of wood rafter to the wall plate so that the load of that roof is transferred to the wall. So the number 1 is the wooden wall plate in which the wooden rafter is to be fixed, and this number 3 is the long spikes or nails by which the wooden rafter is to be fixed, and this is the overhang about the 500 mm is to be kept for preventing the walls from rains. What are the seismic strengthening of bearing wall buildings? So collar beam or horizontal bands are provided. 2 horizontal continuous reinforcing and binding beams and bands should be placed one coinciding with the lintel of door and window, and other just below the roof in all the walls, as we have seen in the previous lecture, that is above the lintel level and just below the roof the horizontal bands are to be provided in a seismic zone number 5 and 4, 3 and 5, 3, 4 and 5. And this is the reinforcing lintel under floor plan. So if the beams are provided at this position and at this position, then it will be good position, and if the beams are provided at position number 2 just above the window or doors or openings, then it will be avoided. Number 3 is the lintel beam, and number 4 is the additional lintel beams are provided. In this pictorial view you can see how the different components of earthen buildings. So here this is a light roof, this is having an overhang which is point number 3, this is having gable wall which is point number 2, this is having number 4 is a good plaster is to be applied at here. Number 7 is having a mortar is placed between the stone masonry work. Number 6 is the stable foundations. Number 5 is having a plinth. So these are the different component of earthen buildings. And number 9 is showing a ground level. Number 8 is showing a plinth level. Similarly, number 10 is showing a waterproof layer. So this is the adequate configuration of earthen building. If the joints are provided, so how the joints are provided, in which the two wooden blocks are placed at right angle to each other, and they are connected with the help of inclined member, which is called bracing also. So the adobe are placed in which the mud mortar is filled. Then after wooden bands are provided in such a way at angle to each other, then diagonal bracings are provided to improve the strength of the roof level. So wooden bands in wall at lintel and roof levels are provided. This is how the pilaster and buttresses are provided. So this is in this picture you can see the number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is called pilasters. Number 2 are the wooden plank, two wooden members or timbers parallel to each other. Number 3 is showing it's just about 500 mm blocking, wooden blocking at about 500 mm is provided at a distance of 500 mm is provided. Then diagonal bracings are provided. Number 4 is showing a diagonal bracings, and then indicating roof band with the doors and window lintel. So how these pilaster and buttresses are provided. So these are the roof band in a plaster walls. Vertical reinforcement is provided in a walls in the form of canes or bamboo. So how the wooden or cane structure is to be built. So this is how the vertical canes or bamboos are provided, after which the horizontal bamboos or canes are provided, so that it will create a mesh of reinforcement, and that are placed before the mud or mortar is applied as a plaster. So this is how the vertical bamboos are provided or canes are provided, and having a spacing of 400 mm, and after which the horizontal members is also provided, which is, and the bamboos and canes should have a diameter of about 20 mm. So this will act like a reinforcement in the walls, and then after the plaster is to be applied. So good connection between the wood and canes element, and to prevent this wood and cane element by tearing the surface, or it's painted by using a coal tar, especially in the part which is embedded into the foundations. So these reinforcement surface should be up on these reinforcement surface. Coal tar should be applied to prevent it from the tearing of surface. Now this is how the plastering is to be applied after construction of that, after matching of that wood and cane, then plaster is to be applied. So number 2 is mud plaster or a mat on a matting, and number 4 is a cane bamboo like a matting or mesh, some mesh. Bracings and brace frames are provided to achieving the adequate resistance in a zone number 4 and zone number 5. So the wooden member or a timbers are provided as a diagonal bracings, so it can improve the seismic resistance of the building. Then plastering and painting, and this is how the earthquake resistance can be improved in an earthquake in a earthen building. Now thank you for watching this.